covering the entire Piedmont Triad and everywhere you are. This is WXII 12 News at 11.
Tonight on WXII 12 News at 11, a civil rights icon remembered across the state and the nation. Franklin McCain, one of 4 Greensboro A&T students who took a stand for civil rights, passed away last night at the age of 73. Franklin McCain was just a freshman at North Carolina A&T when he and his 3 friends made history at a Woolworth's lunch counter and helped energize the civil rights movement. On February 1st, 1960, McCain and the rest of the A&T 4 sat at a whites-only counter to eat lunch, and although they were never served, they kept coming back. Slowly, others joined them, and similar sit-ins took place at counters across the country. And although his name may not be as recognizable as other civil rights leaders, McCain's influence on the civil rights movement cannot be underestimated.
He's right up there with the Martin Luther King Jr.'s and those who, Rosa Parks, and all of those who made a tremendous difference in 1960 during the civil rights movement.
Another great pioneer from the civil rights era, Dr. Maya Angelou, spoke with WXII 12 News early this afternoon from her home in Winston-Salem about the passing of Franklin McCain.
No son can live beyond its sunset. I know that. The wonderful truth for Mr. McCain and the other men and women who sat, despite, although they knew that they were risking not only their reputations but their lives. I think that at least we know we have heroes, and Mr. McCain was one of the heroes, and we are stronger because of him.
Dr. Angelou says Franklin McCain has a place in American history as one who helped change this country forever. North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory released this statement about the passing of McCain. It reads in part, Franklin McCain made his mark on American history in 1960 with a simple act of extraordinary courage. U.S. Senator Kay Hagan also with a statement saying the death of civil rights leader Franklin McCain is a tremendous loss for North Carolina and our country. And you can learn much more about Franklin McCain and the A&T 4 by logging on to WXII12.com. We've also posted a link to our 2010 special report, The Counter, and it includes our full interview with McCain as well as other stories of their legendary actions.
Well, there is a view out there with some fog around. You're looking at downtown High Point, but you can't see a whole lot of it. We're going to deal with fog, drizzle, and occasional light rain as we go through the overnight hours. You can see most of the heavier rains off to the east, but we're seeing at least a few showers filling in over parts of the Triad, as well as the foothills and mountains. The rain right now moving in toward High Rock Lake. You see it there along the Yadkin River in southern Davidson County. Also have had some showers pushing up I-40 now in the northwestern part of Forsyth County. Seeing some rain too from Yadkinville to Elkin. That also lifting off to the northeast. We're not talking about a whole lot of additional rainfall, at least tonight, but tomorrow we've got a front out to the west that is going to bring in another significant rain event for us. Now early tomorrow morning, some scattered light rain showers around. Temperatures will actually warm some toward daybreak. We should be in the mid to upper 40s. We're going to talk about some warmer air in the weekend forecast coming up.
New tonight at 11 o'clock, a major step forward in a cold case that's more than a decade old. A grand jury in Grayson County, Virginia, has charged 33-year-old Chad Allen Reeves and 40-year-old George Albert Harper III in the October 2002 murder of Brandon Billings. Billings was 18 years old when he was found shot to death near the New River. His killing sparked a years-long search for anyone responsible for that murder. Because both Harper and Reeves are currently serving time for unrelated crimes, it is unclear when the pair will stand trial. A man arrested for murdering a 7-year-old Greensboro girl 23 years ago has been extradited to North Carolina. Donald Ferguson is now in the Guilford County Jail. He was arrested Tuesday in Spartanburg, South Carolina for the murder of Shalonda Poole. The little girl's body was found behind a school back in 1990. Ferguson worked occasionally in the same area where that little girl was found. No word on when he'll make his first court appearance here in the Triad. The president of the company that owns a Boone motel where 3 guests died from carbon monoxide that seeped into their room was charged today. Damon Malatier appeared before a Watauga County magistrate and was served with warrants charging him with 3 counts of involuntary manslaughter and 1 count of assault inflicting serious injuries. 2 visitors from Washington State died in April, but delays in investigating the cause of their death led to an 11-year-old South Carolina boy also dying in the same room in June. The little boy's mother nearly died. Firefighters were called to this Unifi plant in Yadkinville today. Investigators tell us that a conveyor belt caught on fire this afternoon. 3 fire departments were called in to fight that blaze from inside the building. They say because the smoke was so low, it was tough to see inside that warehouse. No word on any injuries at this time. Governor McCrory's administration is working on a budget proposal for the upcoming fiscal year, which would boost salaries for teachers and state employees. Art Pope, the state budget director, told agencies he wants spending proposals to be at least 2% less than what the General Assembly allocated. The savings may go to those salary increases. Teachers in North Carolina have not had a pay raise since 2008. The Children's Home Society of North Carolina is mourning the loss of its president and CEO. Ken Tutterow died today after a brief illness. Tutterow joined the CHS Board of Directors in 1986 and became the CEO in 1990. He also helped to organize the Children's Home Society of America, a national network of child welfare agencies. A memorial service will be held Monday at noon at First Baptist Church in Greensboro. Ken Tutterow was 73. For the second day in a row, as many as 300,000 families in West Virginia are being warned to stay away from their water. A chemical leak from a coal treatment facility along the Elk River has contaminated that area's water supply. Schools, restaurants, and other businesses have been shut down because of it. The colorless liquid that contaminated the water is not lethal in its current form, but it can cause eye and skin irritation and headaches if it's inhaled or swallowed.
Don't make baby formula with it. Don't brush your teeth with it. Don't wash with it. Don't shower with it. Don't drink it.
In some areas, it could be late next week before the tap water is safe once again. Well, chances are you know somebody who has fallen ill with the flu this season, and flu cases are increasing across the country. The flu is now widespread in 35 states, including here in North Carolina, and that's a big jump from just 25 states last week. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control. The CDC says that symptoms of the flu have sent more than 2,600 people to the hospital so far this season.
The influenza illness has really hit young adults and adults very hard. We're talking healthy adults.
Here in North Carolina, 21 people have died from the flu so far this season. The most recent death came in Randolph County. State officials say that the majority of the deaths have been young or middle-aged adults. The flu has been widespread in the Tar Heel State since mid-December, and it's believed that the season won't peak until later this month or possibly February. Well, starting today, home buyers can expect new protections against those risky loans that contributed to the housing crisis. Before offering a loan, lenders must now confirm that a buyer can afford it. The new rules are intended to protect home buyers from losing their homes to foreclosure. Many experts, though, are split on how the rules might affect low-income families looking to own a home.
You're going to see it become extremely difficult, almost impossible for many working people who don't have a big down payment to get a mortgage.
Our rules essentially, again, they're just telling the lender to do the sort of things that responsible lenders have always done.
Lenders are not necessarily required to follow these new rules, but if they don't, they could be subject to legal liability if those loans go bad.
North Wilkesboro today, dreary, damp with more wet weather on the way. There's also a chance of thunderstorms across the Carolinas. I'll show you where to expect that. We're going to look at when the cooler air comes back coming up.